This is part two of my World War One collection. Not sure how many parts this is going to end up being in. Um, but here's the first game. I'm taking a look at what I have as far as, alternative theaters. In this case, we're looking at Africa. And so this is just the rules. I don't have the magazine for this, but this is an S&T magazine. I don't remember which one this was in. It's an old 135, says right in the rules. This is a Richard Berg game. It is covering the entire East Africa, mainly German East Africa, and it has a few other sectors in it. It's a typical Berg game, lots of details. He covers air and naval and supply and attrition and random events, and all of these things are in here. The turns progress monthly turns, and it covers 1914 to 1918. So it's quite a detailed look. I've played it one time. It's pretty good. I like it. But it's typical of the era. You have to be willing to fiddle around. I also have Against the Odds magazine, Guns of the Ascari. And so I just like to comment, this seems to cover, the map covers pretty much the same area as Sideshow, but it adds a lot more of Portuguese East Africa in it. So again, monthly turns, it seems to cover the same period. And this is, I haven't played it, but it is by another designer that I like, John Korkowski. So I'm looking forward to playing this one sometime and getting it to the table. Here is a mini game from Decision Games, Le Vorbeck. This also is the entire, pretty much, East African campaign, 1914 to 1918. This uses the Hands of Destiny system. It's a two-player game. You have a few cards that kind of drive some of the action. It's a point-to-point map, and each turn in the game represents about 4 months worth of time. Anyway, it covers the entire war, 1914 to 1918. I've played it, written an article on it, and it's a pretty good game. It's quick playing. The next game I have is from Strategy and Tactics 313. This is Windhoek, Southwest Africa, 1914 and 1915. It covers an area that's not really covered in the other games. And this, I believe, also plays out in monthly turns, but it really only covers 1914 and 1915 action. It's probably where it all ended. And then the last game I have dealing with this area is the Battle of Tanga, 1914. This is from Legion Games. And this one is more tactical. It really, the map's mostly around the city of Tanga. And there are 4 days worth of a span in this battle, but the turns are hourly. So it's quite a tactical game. I haven't played it yet. It's on my to-do list, so I'm hoping to get to those. Another game that I have is also a Sideshow. This is from Strategy and Tactics. I've forgotten which number this one is. 176. It is Blood on the Tigris. So this is the entire World War I in Iraq, and it's actually quite a good game. It's by Perry Moore, so you either love his games or hate him. And unfortunately, Decision Games kind of botched the rules up in this, but to try to make it fit in the amount of space they had in the magazine, they cut a bunch of stuff. But I was able to get some of those rules from someone that had them from Perry Moore. So I've definitely played this game a couple of times, wrote an article on it for I think Moves magazine. Anyway, I liked the game a lot. It has air, it has supply, of course, as you would expect, and it has, the effects of disease and all of the things that you would expect to see in Iraq along the Tigris River. So glad I have it in my collection. Next, I have Strategy and Tactics 241, Ottoman Twilight. I haven't played this game. It covers the entire war in the Near East. So it includes, Palestine and, Arabia. It goes into Iraq and all of those areas, and it does it in seasonal turns from 1914 to 1918. I'd like to try this sometime. Haven't got to it yet, though. This is Strategy and Tactics 237, which is, on Lawrence of Arabia. I think it is called No Prisoners. And this also is in seasonal turns from like 1915 to 1918. Excellent, excellent game. I've written an article on this one, I believe, for Moves or Fire and Movement. I don't remember which one. I have this one, which is a mini game. This is a solitaire game, Lawrence of Arabia. It covers 1917 and 1918, and it's a matter of using a series of missions. It's part of the Raider system. If you've played any of those, it does use cards, and you get a mission, and you can build your forces for the mission and try to execute it. And you can try to play all 4 missions and in a connected campaign. It's a fun game. It's quick playing. It's not super detailed. And then I have this part of the Fire and Movement system, Gaza 1917. This covers, I think daily turns, or maybe the turns are broken up in different parts of the day. It really only covers, the area around Gaza. So it's a quick battle game. I mean, if you like Fire and Movement, it has a lot going for it. Other than, in my opinion, I don't care for the bombardment system, but there are ways to mitigate that and make it, tolerable. Okay, next I have another Strategy and Tactics 180, Reinforce the Right. This is a Joe Miranda game. It's very good. I've written some articles on it, and it's on the Schlieffen Plan, so it covers pretty much only 1914 and the Drive on Paris. Oh, and speaking of Drive on Paris, I have this from the Gamers, which also is on the Schlieffen Plan using the Standard Combat Series. Excellent, excellent game also. I can vouch for both of them. Can't go wrong. So, anyway, it looks like I'm going to need a part 3 for this series, so, stay tuned.
Trucking